112K Master C. As an LGS owner, what can you not talk about? Primarily in regards to distribution and allocations. As far as I know, there's nothing. There's nothing I can't talk about. Some places do control things like they don't want you to share images and stuff like that. Pokemon in particular, they have like a branding website that I can go onto and get official pictures from them from, but I can't share that information early if it's not already widely known. Of course, with websites like PokeBeach and stuff, all that stuff is leaked immediately as soon as they put it on there anyways, so somebody somewhere is leaking that information. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I can't share. But anything else as far as like pricing or anything, there's no reason why I can not tell you. There's no reason I should want to hide that from you. If there's something in particular that would look negative on me if I was to talk about it, I tend to not talk about specifics, or name a distributor by name. But as far as like what's happening or that aspect, there's nothing I can't talk about. Dark Helmet asks, he's talking about distribution. Let's go on and talk about that. Is there pressure to take loser stuff if they give you extra in-demand stuff? Buying more than just the popular stuff helps your purchase amount, so that when they look at your account and see that you spend X amount with them, if you spend $250,000 with them a year, that looks better than if, you know, a $50,000 account. So you don't have to buy, they don't pressure you to buy loser stuff, but buying more definitely helps. So yeah, there's definitely things to think about and things that you want to buy from them that you maybe wouldn't otherwise, but you know, it helps your numbers, so you kind of do. Goes on to ask, do they control their own price, or are they obligated by contract to sell to you at a certain price? No, they can sell at whatever price they want to. Especially here recently, we've seen, like with my last box of Voltage I just bought, I was paying $95 on those. Normally when my box price for Pokemon is close to $84, and the newer accounts will have to pay more. If you've been with a company for a long time, they kind of grandfather stuff in for you, and they keep you at a lower price if they can. Sometimes they can, or like with the Voltage, they said no. But yeah, they control their own prices. There's nothing from Pokemon that says they have to sell at a certain price, or from any company, as far as I know. Obviously, I don't know that kind of information, but I do see prices fluctuate. I do see different companies selling for different prices. So yes, there's no like set price that says you must sell it at this to hobby stores, because I see different prices for everything. So no, there's not a solid rule on that. And would I ever become a distribution company? We have thought about doing that for certain like video game stuff, like parts, and maybe just like having a website just for that kind of product. So we do, you know, just with repairs and everything, we do have that kind of stuff. But as far as like Pokemon product and other like stuff like that, I don't think you're actually a distributor unless you're buying directly from Pokemon. There's a lot of people that say that they have a distributor, or they're a distributor. That term is not correct. A lot of places just buy it from a distribution company and then charge you more for it, which that doesn't make them a distributor. That just makes them a reseller or just a seller. So I don't understand that, or like what some places say, my distributor, and they're just buying it from a game store. That's not a thing. Like, unless a game store is buying directly from Pokemon, which they cannot, unless you have you have to meet certain criteria or a certain amount before you become a distributor. So otherwise, Pokemon doesn't care. They don't care about you. They're not going to worry about giving you a special price because you own a store and you want 100 cases at every new release. You got to be buying like pallets of it to make it worth their while and to get any sort of discount. You know what I mean? So yeah, I never understand why people say I got my stuff from my distributor, so I paid less. Probably not. You probably just paid. Maybe you got a good deal on it, but yeah, doesn't make who you bought it from a distributor. Unless they're buying it directly from the source, they're not a distributor. And all those distributors are listed on Pokemon's website, Wizards of the Coast with Magic's website. All that stuff is listed on those kind of stores' websites. And trust me, there's only like not a lot, like probably around 10 of official distributors for all these companies. I'm Grisky. I'm Grisky? Do you buy from different distributors? I'm sorry, I cracked myself up. Do you buy from different distributions, or do you buy from just one? Right now, you want to be with probably as many as possible, and then having a main one. So, a lot of time, especially right now, things like binders, sleeves, deck boxes, all that stuff is really hard to find. The good quality stuff. So, I have to go hop around to different distribution to get that kind of stuff to stock my store. If I had to rely on just one, or even just like my main distributor, I wouldn't be able to get that kind of product. So you definitely have to have more than one. You should always have a main one that you order most of your product from, because that allows you to build up your rep with that, and then they'll know you as a serious buyer, and that you will get more on allocation when you ask for stuff. But then having the little other distribution companies that you go through, and you can tell them and say, hey, I'm looking for, an extra person just to restock in holes. They'll be okay with that. Like, it's still money to them. They don't care. You can tell them that, or you don't have to. It's whatever. They'll know once you don't order anything. But yeah, always have more than one, but have a main one is what I would say. Okay, question from Alex Wong. Hi, Alex. Dumb question about distributors? No, it's not a dumb question. You don't know. That's it's not a dumb question because you don't know. So it's not a big deal, especially things about distribution. There's a lot of secrecy and stuff that is not talked about, so it's not dumb. Do you have to pay up front for product when you place orders? And or do you not have to pay until it ships? And how's the allocation stuff changed at all? Yeah, so you do have to pay up front. It's when it ships, so I put in an order for an allocation, let's say, of the next Pokemon set that comes out. I put in the amount that I want, and then about a month out from the release of that, they'll allocate me the amount of what I can expect. Normally those numbers are relatively firm. Since then, obviously we have waves with the delays on shipping and the logistics of getting things around the world right now. So waves are a new thing that came about here recently, but allocation, as far as like what we get and what we can expect, has not changed a whole lot on that. When I put in my numbers, they give me the numbers back that I can expect to get, and then we pay when that product ships. Some places or some businesses do what they call a net 30 plan. Basically, you don't pay until 30 days after, so you can kind of sell through some stuff to have the money to pay for that stuff. We don't do that. I don't do that. We just use credit cards if we have to, or just the money that we have. But a lot of places starting out, they'll have that. But it's difficult to kind of get that sometimes, because it's basically like them giving you product in hopes that you're going to pay for it down the road. And it's messy, so I don't like to have to do that. I'd rather just pay up front and know my hole that I'm in, and then dig myself out. If I have to use like a business credit card or something, that's be the way that I use it. Or we would buy like huge amounts of stuff. So yeah, that's how it works. It's kind of an issue with some places right now where, with these waves and stuff, that, we'll have allocations. They'll ship half the wave, so we pay for that half. And then the next half we have to pay for when that comes out. So if you're not sold through the first half, and then you got this other half coming, that can be an issue. And it can be messy with how to control your funds and figure out monetarily how you're going to work that out. It can be kind of stressful. That's why, like I said, credit cards are sometimes your best friend, especially if you think you can sell through the stuff and, avoid like the huge fees. Not the end of the world if you have to put on a credit card. I mean, it's some sort of, gives you some sort of leverage to buy more than you may be able to afford at that second, and then pay that off, or pay it off partially until you can get through everything. So not the end of the world. That's just how it works. But not a dumb question. A question from Jody. Hey Jody, appreciate you. I appreciate you always being a part of what you do in the Poke sphere and hanging out and being on board. So Jody Matona's videos says, have a few questions. They're pretty short, so I'll just fire them off real quick. Are you 50% owner of the shop? Yes. Me and Zach own the business 50-50. Are you 50% owner of the YouTube channel? Yes. I don't know how it works technically. Haven't really thought about it, even though I do most of the content. I don't know if I own it. I would guess the business owns it, and the things like monetization and stuff goes to the business. So I would say that I own it just as much as Zach, so half and half on that. Haven't really thought about it. Do you have any Pokemon product at your home besides an Arcanine plush? Very few. I have a couple cards that I have bought just during this craziness that I think are going to do well long term. I don't mind telling them. One of them is the stained glass birds promo from the Hidden Fates ETBs. I love that card. I think it's very unique. I think it's very before the big wave of stuff, and they released a ton of them. They were already very expensive, and then now they've gone back down to the lowest that they've ever been. But I don't see any reason why down the road, while long after the Hidden Fates product is done and gone, that those promos won't be not only highly sought after, but very expensive because of how hard they are to find and in good condition. So other than that, I don't really have any other Pokemon stuff that is like personal, other than my big Arcanine plush that I love. And that was a gift, or else I wouldn't have that. But yeah. I say don't keep any cards. Do you have any other Pokemon cards I've kept? Like I said, just those little promos, and I have some, like the Secret Pikachu from Cosmic Eclipse that I pulled and I kept and stuff like that. So I do have a couple other cards that I'm just sitting on just to see how they do. But yeah, no trophy cards. No, I don't deal in trophy cards at all. So unless they were to come into the shop, which they never do. I would buy one if it does come in, but it wouldn't be for me. It'd be for the store. Old sealed product? No, I don't have anything sealed at personal. Yeah, no. Thanks for doing Q&A. Thanks, Jody. Appreciate you, like I said.